Way back then, I really didn't know. My parents raised me without gender.
How did you even come to that parenting conclusion? Hey, we're about to have our first ever child, let's not give it a gender. So in my last video, I said that if this My Story animated video does well, I'd make another one. And for a small channel like mine, I would say that 250 views in 2 days is a success, so I'm back making another video on this crap animation channel. The video we're going to be reacting to today is called I Switched from Boy to Girl to Boy to Girl in 10 years. Only My Story animated can make hanging off a roller coaster upside down seem like nothing.
So you might think that being raised gender neutral is like some modern thing, but my family is way out there and raised me gender neutral long before all the other parents got the idea. So when I grew up, I had dolls to play with and cars, and I could wear whatever I wanted and in whatever color I wanted.
You don't need to be gender neutral to do any of them things. I mean, if you're a normal functioning human being, I'm pretty sure you can play with toys and wear whatever clothes you want without being gender neutral.
And my parents didn't give me a normal name. They called me Apricot.
You can't exactly have a normal name if you're gender neutral, because your name can't be for boys because you're not really a boy, and your name can't be for girls because you're not really a girl. So you're unfortunately gonna get named after a fruit. We're in that point of time where we're actually just naming our kids after fruit. I mean, what's next? Naming your kids after vegetable. Imagine sitting in class, hear the register, and then you hear the name broccoli being called out.
It was on my first day of school at break, standing there in the schoolyard, looking all awkward. And some girl called Flora came up to me and said,
Excuse me, what? Her name's Flora. That's even worse than getting named after a fruit. You do realize you've been named after a brand of butter. Are parents just naming their kids after items now? I mean, if I ever get a kid, I might as well name it Duracell Battery. You know, just so I can fit in with the trend.
Apricot! That's a weird name. So, are you a girl or a boy? 'Cause you look kind of funny. I just...
Okay, tip for the person narrating this animation. You're not exactly going to get a pay rise by My Story Animated by being very enthusiastic whilst you're recording. So, for all the viewers' sake, please shut the fuck up.
If anyone questioned whether I was a boy or a girl, my mom would be all like, gender is a sociable and cultural construct. Defining who you are at such a young age could lead to psychological and physiological damage.
I'm pretty sure every single human being that's ever lived has been defined as a boy or girl at a very young age, and I don't think they give a shit. And by the way, if you raise your child gender neutral, then just expect people to be confused about what gender your child is. I don't exactly come across people with no gender on a daily basis.
Or things like, gender is something that can be decided upon, not defined.
I'm sorry, this never made any sense to me. You can decide what gender you are. When you're in your mom's womb as a developing embryo, I'm pretty sure you can barely think, let alone decide what gender you're gonna be.
Got more complicated. I needed to go pee-pee and I didn't know what restroom to go into. One had a picture of a kid wearing trousers on it, and the other one had a picture of a kid wearing a skirt on it. But I wore both. I just held it in all day.
See, this whole gender neutral stuff isn't really working out because your own daughter can't even enter the toilet. Imagine how hard it would have been to train her to use the toilet when she can't even enter it.
Moonbeam, am I a girl or a boy? And Moonbeam put down his troll and looked at me and was all like, I don't know. Do you like blue or do you like pink? And earlier that day, I had been drawing the sky with a blue crayon, so I knew. Blue! I like blue! So Moonbeam told me I must be a boy.
Wait, what would have happened if she picked a different color apart from blue or pink? Like, if she picked orange, would she just think to herself, I must be a different species?
Good. I was a manly girl. Now, I'm not saying that boys should be into blue and girls should be into pink, because if I have learned anything from my parents, it is that you shouldn't let gender define who you are.
Wouldn't it have been a lot less confusing to just teach her that, rather than not give her a gender at all?
To me with my transition to become a girl. such as learning things like how to contour and what clothes to wear and how to sew new doilies. Okay, so I'm joking with that last one.
You know what? Be whatever you want. Boy, girl, cat, dog, giraffe, fucking crocodile. But comedian, that should have been crossed off your list a long time ago. So what happens in the end is she switches to a girl and she still don't feel like herself. So then she switches to a boy and the end. So in this day and age, anyone can be absolutely anything they want. Some people identify as the opposite gender to what they were originally born as. Some people don't even have a gender. Some people identify as a stuffed animal. Some people even identify as a real animal. Which makes no sense to me, because if animals actually understood the stupidity of some people, they would never want to act like humans. I mean, I don't think any animal ever would want to identify as this motherfucker. My point is, there isn't really any rules left to what you can be nowadays. I mean, if people can be identified as having no gender at all, or a stuffed animal, or whatever else there is, then imagine what people can be identified as in like 10-20 years time. Trunk person from Rick and Morty can actually be a thing. Okay, so with that being said, I might as well end the video here because I'm pretty much waffling at this point. And obviously everything that I said was a joke. Please don't get offended or pissed off. The last thing that I need today is a hitman to turn up at my door. So yeah, please like, subscribe, share and safe.
Looking